welcome once again to Real. That changed the internet through storm and made certain YouTubers, I would say, I'm not going to say insta famous, but it made certain YouTubers hit the spectrum real quickly, because this is based off the hit game Five Nights at Freddy's, that you are a security guard that is trying to keep these animatronics out of your office, and as well it's giving you a little bit of lore behind what's going on with these animatronics in Freddy Fazbear's place. It's technically speaking like Chuck E. Cheese's, but with a twist. This film is very interesting. It's on the horror genre aspect of things, but it does lack in certain things, the horror aspect of it. So let's go ahead and just pan out on how this film works and how it does it. So we go ahead and follow Mike. Mike has this internal struggle inside because he lost his little brother due to a kidnapping, and they never caught the person that kidnapped his brother. The thing is that he has these he is obligating himself to dream about that moment every night, like that he can see if he can get new details and aspects of that situation when it happened. The other thing that this film brings is his sister Abby, that is like, I would say, a medium, I would say, that aspect that provides you to the film. And then the story goes ahead. He is a struggling brother. He's trying to maintain his house afloat, his sister afloat, in regards to that he is the I would say man of the house, because his parents are no longer there, and as well, since his mother's passing, his father just didn't want to do anything about this situation moving forward. Now, this is where it gets kind of like interesting, because due to the fact that we have him trying to figure out what happened, or more details in regards to his little brother, he brings in this like dream theory that you can force yourself to dream the exact same dream moving forward, due to the fact that you can just obligate your mind to go back to that time. So from there, the film goes on. I'm not going to go ahead and do the history lesson of the story, because the plot line is basically very simple. So we have a struggling brother trying to find a job. He gets the job at Freddy Fazbear's pizza joint, and from there are some very key, I would say, not cameos, but they're key moments where you're like, hey, I remember this is from the game. And it's very interesting how the back and forth of Mike and his dreams and whatnot flourish into the kids that are the kids that possess the animatronics in Freddy Fazbear's pizza joint. Five Nights at Freddy's brings this kind of lore to it, and it is rich lore that it's great to see it in the big screen. So it's intriguing, it's entertaining, but I think that the major thing that the film lacked was that horror aspect. The film is not scary at all. And when you go ahead and play the games, and this is not me trying to, it is me trying to compare the video game with the film, but that essence of what the game is was not portrayed on the film. Still, the film is not bad. The film is fun, it's good to enjoy, and as well, there are certain moments that are really, really creepy on the film. But I would say that I would have preferred to see more horror into the character and less of what we got on the film. There are certain aspects of things and things that do happen throughout the film that are like, it's okay, no problem. I would have liked more to explore the lore behind Mike and the kids from each of the characters of Fazbear's Pizza Joint, and as well these additional characters like Vanessa and Steve, than just add certain things that it was okay to add them. I think that I know that they added them just to maintain the reality of Mike and Abby's situation, give it a little bit much more of a human aspect and not focus that much on what Five Nights at Freddy's is per se. When you get to those moments of like horror, it's not actually scary. You do notice that they tried to bring a little bit of horror aspect to the characters, to the scene, but again, it's not perfectly nor well portrayed on the film. Even though, yes, it is scary to see animatronics following you, it is scary. Certain key moments that you're like, oh wow, and there is certain scenes that you're like, hey, this is interesting because it's an homage to a certain film. I'm gonna say it. So there are like around 2 films that it has this certain homage to Saw. It is really, really interesting. But that horror aspect that you're expecting to be scared, it's not there. That's at least what I was hoping for. Because the fact that I got to enjoy I think it was the first 2 games. I didn't went in full into the lore, but I did enjoy the first 2 Five Nights at Freddy's games. There you get scared shitless, people. And not seeing it in the film is really sad. Why do I say this? Because that is what you want, and being the fact that we have Matthew Lillard as the antagonist of the film, and this is the character that has been following through the story that you really wished that you didn't see him on this first film. Because I would say that it would have been better to maintain, I don't know the character name, I think it's Golden Bear. I really don't know, the name of the character, but he is like one of the like main animatronics of the gang of Five Nights at Freddy's, but he's like the evil one. It would have been nice that his character would have been shown at the end and there was no resolution on the film. As well, it would have been, I would say, much better that we would have been more inside the pizza joint with the animatronics than outside. It was a nice touch that we had a character trying to be the hero as well, trying to, be part of like, hey, I want to help you out, but at the same time I don't. I do know the secret of the kids. These type of details should have been left off for an upcoming film. Like that, you go ahead and if you are going to move forward in making Five Nights at Freddy's 2 to present more animatronics and as well dive in more in the lore, it would have been better. Why do I say this? It keeps that aspect fresh. Why? Because then you could have Mike come back, or say, quote unquote, that Mike did survive all these days at or the days at Five Nights at Freddy's. And then on the second film is when he starts getting more details in regards to Steve's character. Why? Because when you sit down and see the lore technically tries to explain to you that the kids were trying to talk to the security guard, like that their story could be opened up. And it was great that they included Mike and his brother to be part of the lore, but it would have been better if the connection could have withstand in keeping the mystery behind Golden Bear and these other characters that we would be able to see in other upcoming films if they do a second Five Nights at Freddy's films. I'm not going to say that Blumhouse didn't do a great job or anything. Blumhouse did an amazing job because the film still looks great. The animatronics look amazing. The setting is like the video game, but the lack of horror and the lack of going so fast paced on the lore is where the film doesn't flourish. The lack of getting the people scared, because that is what usually happens in the video game. In the video game, the whole point is that you yourself are tense because you don't know when one of these things are gonna either eat you or kill you or anything. So I would say that the film did a great job lore-wise, but it would have been better if they would have just hold on. Hey, let's hold on. Let's not give in yet who is Steve and who is Vanessa, and that Vanessa knows that the animatronics are the kids. Let's maintain that on hold and just move forward in Mike talking to the kids, surviving the nights at Freddy Fazbear's pizza joint, and if by any chance you can do certain gimmicks moving forward, that I would say that the film that Nicolas Cage did, Willy's Wonderland, it's basically the same thing but different, but it was executed better because there was horror behind this gore fest of animatronics versus Nicolas Cage. In this case, due to the fact that Five Nights at Freddy's has a very deep in horror lore, it would have been better for first film to just maintain the basics of presenting you what's Five Nights at Freddy's, presenting you Mike, presenting you Abby, and presenting you the question in hand that Mike has. Who is the person that kidnapped my brother? Who is this person? What is this person doing? How I can solve it? And having that horror aspect inside the joint. It would have been nicer. And as well, it would have been cool to have key moments on the joint of Fazbear's where, let's say that he is the security guard and he notices that people got in, and then he sees how the animatronics go ahead and scare off these people and kill these people. And then from there you keep building up to having an ending like Mike finding I don't know, any type of documents or anything that tells the kids stories, or that Chica or what was the name of it's Chica, I forgot their names. I know it's Chica. It's been a long time that I played this game, but it would have been nice that either one of the animatronics would have got close to him and he would have got scared, and then from there they would give him on one of the very vastly dreams that he has, be hey, give him a little bit much more detail of who they are and what they are trying to do moving forward. And then have a post-credit scene where you see Steve putting on the suit, the Gold Bear suit, and just going ahead and seeing all the animatronics, and he telling them that they're not worth it, they're worthless and whatnot, like they did on the film, but in this case you maintain that tension of the kids still in the animatronics. And it would have been better. It would have been better. It would have been cool. I think the aspect of tension would have still be there as well. Even though the film was tackled very nicely, it was tackled very interesting. The lore is there. The movie is fun. At the end of the day, the movie is enjoyable. And even though you don't have that horror aspect to it, it's still a film that you would sit down and rewatch. Because for me, I would rewatch this film a couple of times, just because I like the video game and as well the characters behind it. But what brings this, I would say that what brings the film to fruition as well as the cast. The cast did an amazing job. I think Josh, even though I know that he has not been in so many films, Josh is an amazing actor. And Matthew is amazing. I know that he has been held up due to his new company that he has for gaming accessories, but seeing Matthew anywhere, let it be horror, let it be comedy, is just amazing seeing him. And the rest of the cast, I would say they did a phenomenal job. The wardrobe for the animatronics, spot on, super great, very detailed. The place as well, the ambiance, the lighting, and the camera shots are just video game-like. But again, I would say that there are certain key moments that I already explained that could have been better, could have been extended for an upcoming film. So, I don't know. Comment below what you guys think about Five Nights at Freddy's. If you liked it, if you did not like it, if you like that little detail at the end that I think it's an animatronic saying I will come back. Again, a lot of people have been speculating that it's Steve's final voice when he turns to the animatronic per se. He's stating like, hey, I'm gonna come back. It would be that would be great. But comment below what you guys think about Five Nights at Freddy's, and as well if you like this review. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to our channel if you have not yet subscribed. Like that, you guys can get notified with the bell if you hit it. Anything and everything movie and series related here at Reel In Films, and we will see you in the next one.